सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यकेशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। यं ब्रह्मा
वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः
वै साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीचिन्मययतीशस्य शस्य गुरुं वन्दे तपोवनं तं हिमवत् विभूतिं वै ज्ञानवैराग्यरूपिणं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Today we are going to discuss some detailed matter. What is kosha? So, it's a sheath or scabbard. So the thing is, kosha is as if the covering of Atma. So how can the infinite Atma is covered by this kosha or these kosha? How a finite thing can cover an infinite? So it proves that kosha can't cover, seed can't cover the infinite Atma. Like a famous verse is there, Ghanachanna marka ghanachanna drishti. I will not go into that today. I have to discuss a lot. Like, suppose the some portion of sky is clouded and we think that the sun is covered. See, the sun is so big. How a small piece of cloud can cover the sun? Actually, the cloud covers my eyes, but it appears as if the piece of small cloud has covered the sun. Likewise, the kosha or the seed. So, where my, and because of kosha, my attention doesn't go to the Atman because of that kosha. So kosha or these sheets covering of Atma means the notion or wrong idea. And that's why it appears as though they are covering Atma. But apart from food seed, the physical body or Annamaya kosha, whatever you see, there is no physical existence of any koshas because space cannot be covered. One wrong notion just takes away my attention from the Supreme Being. So the thing is, which is infinite, that cannot be hidden, but something else is there which is making me forgetful, unattentive, unconscious about that. That is why koshavat achadayatvat means kosha, kosha eva kosha. Kosha or seed has no any physical existence. Actually, the ignorance about my infinite self or ignorance about the infinite Atma or Brahman is the cause. So kosha means an erroneous notion as though it covers Atma. So Annamaya kosha is sthula sharira, we have seen. So the thing is, it is born out of essence of food, and this is our physical aspect, but it can't hide Atma. Then what about the wise person? Because the realized soul, who is realized soul, he or she is also having the physical body. But the difference is he or she doesn't have that wrong notion that I am this body or I am Annamaya kosha or I am that food seed. Out of food it has been made. Through food it is grown and nourished. So food is required, and after death this body merges into the earth. So it is born out of food, sustained by food, and it will be merged into food only. Just think of it. Huh? Very minute thing, very simple but very minute thing. Whatever we are eating every day in any country, irrespective of any caste and creed, whatever we are eating, once upon a time, it was someone's physical body. Just think of it. Whatever we are eating, It is someone's body only, physical body. The fruit, the flower, and our body, there is no difference. Because of nice packaging, we look separate, we look different. So, now the question is, when the fruit is on the tree, we never say that it is me. When after eating, when we pass the stool, we never tell that this stool is me. But when we eat it and it gets nourished, it gets digested over here, and we claim it is me. One fruit I am eating, and within an hour or 2 hours, it is becoming Divakar. And I'm claiming it, that this is Divakar. So how foolish I am, how foolish my thinking is. When this is me, then why all these things are not me? There is a famous Subhashitani. Sarvabhuteshu yah pasyet bhagavad bhavamatmanah bhutani bhagavatyatmani esha bhagavatottamaha. He or she is the best devotee who is capable of seeing God in all beings and seeing all beings in God. What a wonderful thinking, just see. Because this physical body is nothing but the modification of food. And for this food alone, all the striving in the whole world from childhood to death. We do exercise to shape up this body. But very rare people say that I am this body. Maximum people say, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a doctor, I am a sadhu, I am a brahmachari. So, these sorts of wrong notion covers the infinite self. Kosha is nothing but the wrong notion. So, I will come into that, but the thing is, one thing, why Anna Maya, Prana Maya, Mana Maya, Vijnana Maya, Ananda Maya? What is Maya? Maya means suffix. Maya is suffix. Suffix of Anna, suffix of Prana, suffix of food, suffix of Pran, vital air, suffix of mind, suffix of intellect, suffix of bliss. Mayat is the actual form. Please note it down. The suffix indicates two things. Either it could be modification of something, first meaning. Either it could be modification of something, and the second meaning is it could be full, the whole thing. Like Annamaya has taken the first meaning, means modification of food. Pranamaya is the modification of main prana. But you know our Gurudev's name, Swami Chinmayananda. So what is Chinmaya? Here Maya means the whole, the complete, the full. So here Chinmaya means consciousness alone, without any modification. Like famous name, in Bengali, I don't know what about in other languages, like Tanmaya. Tanmaya. Our Sanskrit Acharya's name was Tanmaya Chaitanya. So Tanmaya is the joint form. If we split it into Sandhi, Tat Maya. So Tat means that reality, that supreme reality, what is Brahman or Atma. But here Tat Maya or Tanmaya doesn't means modification of Tat. Here Tanmaya means it is changeless fullness, that Atma. So now we will come into Pranamaya Kosha and little bit more details. Okay. So the question was Pranamaya Kaha, Pranadhyaha, Panchavayavaha, Vag Adi, Indriya Panchakam, Pranamayaha, Koshaha. Okay. Yesterday's class we have discussed a lot. Today we will discuss more. So the vital air seed or Pranamaya Kosha pervades the food seed. It is subtler than the food seed. And the 5 modification of air or main prana, I will come into that discussion. Okay, it is very details instruction in discussion. It will be if time permits. So which control that Pranamaya Kosha, which controls the main physiological functions of the body, and this is called pranas. So first, prana here means breathing is governed by the prana. Our breathing is governed by the prana. When the inhalation and exhalation is slow, deep, rhythmic, and even, then the breathing is proper and good. What about apana? Yesterday I discussed, yet I am telling today. Apana is the evacuation and rejection of all waste from the body is taken care by apana. Mainly our toxic chemicals and waste would gather in the body, but when the apana is efficient in functioning, it gets out. Then vyana, the circulation of blood and nourishment to every cell of the body is the work of vyana. When one sits in a particular posture for a long time and the blood doesn't circulate freely, one commonly experiences leg cramps. Okay. So means vyana is somewhere it has been controlled. Now udana, all reactions or reverse process are done by udana. I will go more detail what other shastras says. Okay. For example, vomiting, burping, shedding tears, sneezing. It is responsible for the continuous and emerging thoughts of the mind. It supplies the necessary power to the subtle body to leave the gross body at death. And samana, the food eaten is digested by it and assimilated by it. Okay. So we saw that 5 pranas I have covered. So these 5 pranas are vital to life. They function silently from birth to death even while we sleep. If even one of them were to stop completely, we would die. They connect the subtle body to the gross body and energize both. When they function efficiently, the body remains healthy, the sense organs are keen, the organs of action strong, and the mind remains alert. When they malfunction, the body becomes ill, imbalanced, weak, dull, and diseased. Hence, the emphasis on pranayama, the control of the pranas in the Yoga Shastra. We can control the pranas through the mind. Yogis are known to be able to stop their breathing or heartbeat and breathing from their rib bone and so on. Normally, they function naturally and involuntarily. Fortunately, one does not have to learn how to breathe or how to digest. That we no need to learn. But you know, one famous yoga therapist was my friend in Rishikesh. So he once told, hey, your breathing is improper. Maximum time I have noticed that you are breathing through your mouth. So I thought, no, I have to learn how to breathe also. So, but in general, we are really fortunate that we no need to learn how to breathe or how to digest. They are inherent and they keep happening unconsciously. The 5 pranas and the organs of actions together are called the pranamaya kosha or the vital air sea. And identified with it, man says, I am hungry, I am thirsty, all those things. Now, more detail. How were the pranas created? The Mundaka Upanishad in its 2.1.8 mantra says, Sapta pranaha prabhavanti tasmat Sapta archishaha samidhaha sapta homaha. So as if when the fire ritual is going on, the flames are coming out. That is called archi. So sapta archi, 7 flames. It has been indicated with the symbol that from the creator emerge 7 pranas. Now it is a contradiction. Upanishad is saying 7 pranas. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji takes up this point in Brahma Sutra. In Brahma Sutra 2.4.5, he raises the question about the number of the pranas. It wants to know how many pranas are there. In the next aphorism, the clarification comes that there are only 5 and 7 is figurative. Because in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 2.1.20, it is said that from the Atma come out all the pranas just as sparks fly out from the raging fire, or just like spider brings out its web. It is in Mundaka Upanishad also. According to the philosophers of India, the whole universe, please mute your phone or laptop, please. So, according to the philosophers of India, the whole universe is composed of 2 materials, one of which they call Akasha, or the space. It is the omnipotent or all-penetrating existence. Everything that has form, everything that is the result of combination is evolved out of this Akasha or space. By what power is this Akasha manufactured into the universe? By the power of Prana. Just as Akasha is infinite, omnipresent material of this universe, so is this Prana, the infinite, omnipotent or omnipresent, the manifesting power of the universe. At the beginning and at the end of a cycle, everything becomes Akasha. And all the forces that are in the universe resolve back into the Prana. In the next cycle, out of this Prana is evolved everything that we call energy, everything that we call force. This is the cosmic Prana. The individual pranas come from the cosmic Prana. Clear? We have been told that the 5 pranas themselves do not make the seed. They need something more. And that something more are the 5 organs of action. The vehicle may be ready, but without fuel, it cannot run. The fuel is the prana or the energy. The 5 life forces are not merely energies. They are divinities too, called Vaishvanara collectively. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehamasritaha प्राणापान समायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्भुजं सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनन्त वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहं द्वाविम. Okay, leave it. So the thing is, Vaishvanara is the universal self, the collective physical universe plus Brahman. The collective physical universe plus Brahman. One has to propitiate Vaishvanara in order to freed from sins and the dangers of having to be born as insects and birds. Therefore, the Chandogya Upanishad 5.11 teaches sacrifice of Vaishvanara. This sacrifice is called Agnihotra. Agnihotra. The sacrifice is simple. He is or she is to be adored by offering oblations to the 5 pranas. That's all. Before beginning to eat, the first few grains are taken and offered to prana. In Upanishad it is saying oblations to prana. The next oblation is for apana and so on. Through this, the aspirant's own eating becomes an offering to the Lord. This purifies the food being taken. That is why we all eat with the mantra. First Gita 15th chapter, then from Gita 4th chapter, in all ashramas, Om Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaeva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So by offering, our food becomes prasada. That grace, it becomes grace. So that I finished Vayavaha. Yesterday we started Vayuhu, Vayu, Vayavaha. So all the Vayavaha we have finished. Now Vagadi Indriya Panchakam. It is in the verse of Panchamaya, Pranamaya Kosha. So the 5 senses of actions like speech, Vak Adi, like speech. You know, speech, hands, legs, genital and anus are the 5 senses of action. So the 5 organs of actions are the organs of generation and evacuation, the organ of speech, hands and feet. These together with the 5 pranas makes up the pranic seed or the pranamaya kosha. So what is the importance of pranamaya kosha? In the Chandogya Upanishad 5.1.1, it is told that prana is the eldest and the greatest of all. Yo havai jyeshtham cha shreshtham cha veda jyeshthascha havai shreshthascha bhavati pranaha vava jyeshthascha shreshthascha. So the thing is, he or she who knows what is the eldest and the greatest becomes himself eldest and the greatest. The prana verily is the eldest and the greatest. The second seed or pranamaya kosha or vital air seed is more important than the first one or food seed or physical body or annamaya kosha, since it not only accounts for the life of the food seed but also for its activities. Without the prana, nothing can function. Neither can one perform dharma nor ordinary activities. Further, it is the prana that takes the soul out of the body at the time of death. According to the Brahma Sutra 4.2.2 and the 2 to 5 mantras, aphorism, it is discussed, the organ of speech merges in the mind at the time of death. The mind merges in the life force or prana. The prana then merges in the individual soul. Clear? Again, I am telling. The organ of speech merges in the mind, means all organs of actions merges in the mind, means their capacity, their capability. And mind merges at the time of death. Okay. The mind merges in the prana or life force. Then prana merges in the individual soul or sukshma sharira, subtle body, what we call. Then the departure for the body takes place. Udana. So while the very ordinary souls feel that the body is everything, there are some who understand that beyond the body there is something which is more powerful, and that is prana. This also accounts for the Indian idea that it is neither the blood nor the sense that can bring the bodily characteristics to the newborn child. Scientists believe that the gene contains answers to all their problems. If a person has some disease, he or she has inherited it hereditarily from the parents through the medium of gene, they say. But Hindu philosophers or Vedantic or in Veda, had long ago discarded such ideas because the sages, Vedic sages, knew that beyond the body, beyond even the life force called prana, there is something more which is responsible for all the bodily and environmental effects. That will be discussed in the next part. But here, something more we just want to say. Now we want to see what Viveka Chudamani says. So, in Viveka Chudamani, two slokas are there in 2 meters, 2 chandas. It's wonderful. In Pranamaya Kosha, it is there. Karmendriyaihi panchaviranchitoyam prano vavet pranamayastu koshaha yenatmavanannamayoannapurnaha pravartatesho sakala kriyasu. So, after joining with all the sense organs, means organs of actions, the pranas becomes the pranamaya kosha. Only prana doesn't create the wrong notion or covering. It joins with the karmendriya or organs of action. And it becomes a penetrating force, pranamaya, through pranamaya kosha, and that annamaya, that actions, organs of actions, becomes nourished with the food and becomes annamaya kosha. Then 168 sloka is also there in Viveka Chudamani. There the chanda is very interesting. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has used the chanda or meter named Matta Mayuri, the crazy peacock. The name of this meter. And listen how wonderful it is. Naivatmapi pranamayo vayu vikaraha ganta ganta vayu vadantarvahideshaha yasmat kinchit kapina vettishtamanishtam swam vanyam va kinchana nityam paratantraha. So wonderful meter, chandas, Bhagavan has used. So here Bhagavan is telling that pranamaya kosha is nothing but the kosha, not prana. Okay, pranamaya kosha means the seed is nothing but the modification of the air, and it is not Atma, because it goes out and comes in like the air, always dependent, and it can't determines what is good and what is bad. Now some extra thing I am discussing. More details, please be alert. In Vedanta Sara, it is there the karmendriyani vakmani pad payu upastha, and how the organs of action has created. This is very interesting, you know. So in 76 number sloka of Vedanta Sara says, Etani punaha akash adinam rajaha anshevyaha vyastevyaha prithak prithak kramena utpadyante. So from the ungrossified Pancha Mahabhuta, from its Raja Angsha, the activity portion, all the karmendriyas have been come out. So, like from Raja Pradhan, Vayu or air, hand has come. From activity dominating Teja or fire, legs have come out. From activity dominating or Raja Pradhana, water, Upastha or genitals have come out. From activity dominating or Raja Pradhana, Prithvi or earth, the anus organs have come out. In Prashnopanishad, 4th chapter, 8th mantra says, Vakcha vaktavyam cha hastau chadatavyam chaha cha upasthascha anandaitavyam cha payushcha visarjaitavyacham padau cha gantavyam cha. So what the activities of all sense organs? It is there in Prashnopanishad. In 77 number sloka Vedanta Sara says, Vayavaha, what is there? But the thing is, one here Vayavaha means 5 pranas or 5 vayus, 5 air we say. It is not. Prana is one. Prana is one. The vritti is the modification of one alone prana divides into 5, and that is why the body acts in different way, because so it is the supply according to the demand of the body. So here, what about the pranamaya kosha? What about it is written? That is actually activities of air. But prana shakti, the energy, the whole prana and the air are different concept. Because in Mundakopanishad 2.13, it is told, Etasmad jayate pranaha manaha sarvendriyani cha khaum vayuhu. That from that means from that Brahman or Akasha, you can say here, the main prana, mind and all sense organs, air, everything has been created. So here it is very clearly said that prana and air are different tattva. But in Brihadaranya Shruti, it is told, that is why, we should study under the tutelage of the master who has a traditional teaching. Otherwise, we will misunderstand the scripture. In Brihadaranya Upanishad, it is told, Yah Prana Saha Vayuhu. Means it is told that what is Mukhya Prana, main Prana, that is Vayu. The literal translation. But what is the Mimamsa? What is the logic and discrimination of it? In Sariraka Sutra or Brahma Sutra, it is told 2.4.9. Yesterday I discussed it. I don't know whether you paid attention or not, or either someone has watched it in Divakar Chaitanya YouTube channel or not after that. That na vayu kriye prithak upadeshat means that main air is adhyatma bhava. Here it is discussed in Brihadaranya. It means within this body, prana, apana, like 5 kinds, the main prana stays or resides, divided itself into 5 kinds according to the demand or necessity of this body. And in Panchadashi, in Vedanta Sara, in Vedanta Paribhasha, in 3 famous pillars of our Advaita Vedanta or non-dual philosophy, it is clearly told that from the ungrossified Pancha Mahabhutas, Rajagunamsa se, from the activity portion, Vayu is different, and the Vayu Savhava Sampanna Prana is different. It is told. Now, another sloka says, Apanaha nama avaggamanavan payu adhisthanavarti vyanaha nama vishvaggamanavan akila shariravarti. It is all told. But the main thing what I want to discuss today, very critical thing, that one thing, yes. The thing is, it is there. Udanah nama kanthasthaniyah urdhva gamanavan utkramana vayu. Kanthavarti here, urdhva gamanashil utkraman vayu means at the time of death, the air comes over here, and that vayu is called udana. Samanah nama sarira madhyagata asita pita anyadi samikarana kara. Samikaram tu paripak karanam rasa rudhira sukra purishadi karanam iti java. So, sharira madhyavarti, inside the body, the air which balances everything else, all our food, solid, liquid, it's called samana vayu, samana prana, and digestion, and with the essence of food, it creates the blood, the sperm, ovum, stool. That is the actual work. Now the main thing, in Sankhya philosophy, told by Patanjali Rishi or Patanjali Rishi, he is telling something different. Kechittu naga kurma krikara devadatta dhananjaya akhyaha pancha anye vayavaha santi iti ahu. But he has not told that I am telling. He has also referred his gurus. That some people says that there are 5 kinds of air or prana which goes inside. Okay. Who there? Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta and Dhananjaya. Okay, please write it down. It's very interesting. Nowhere you will get it. Tatra Nagaha Udgirana Karaha Kurma Unmilana Karaha Krikaraha Kshudha Devadattaha Jrimbhanakaraha Dhananjayaha Poshanakaraha. What is the activities, main function of Naga Prana is Udgiran, vomiting or barping, like that. Then what is the function of Kurma is Unmilan. You know, the blinking of eyes, opening and closing. What is the function of Krikara Prana? Is appetizer. It's appetizer. What is the function of Devadatta? Is Jrimbhana, means yawning. Bless you, bless you. We tell them. And what is the function of Dhananjaya Vayu? It's nourishment of the body. Etesham pranadishu antarbhavat pranadayaha pancha eva iti kechit. Some tells that this Panchavayu, what I just discussed, that Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, Dhananjaya, they are actually the part or included into the 5 prana we discussed earlier, which is discussed in the Veda or Upanishad, that prana, apana, vyana, udana and samana. In Amrita Tika, it is told that in Sankhya Matam, according to Sankhya, all those things I discussed, that because in Aitareya Upanishad 3.10, it is told, Tad apanena ajigrikshatva davayat, means Upanishad claims all the activities of this subdivision of main 5 pranas are included in the main 5 what is discussed in main 5 pranas, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So, but we will take the previous one, the main Pancha Prana we discussed, because in Brihadaranya Upanishad 1.5.3 it is discussed, Pranaha, Apanaha, Vyanaha, Udanaha, Samanaha. Clearly, it means we are as if we are Vedantic, we are the followers of Veda. We should take the decision of Upanishad. Etat pranadi panchakam akashadigata rajangshavya militebhya utpadyate. It is told, I told you how it has been created, that from the rajas angsha activity portion of main thing it has come, and that 5 organs of actions and 5 pranas togetherly called pranamaya, not single prana, and it works like a covering of the infinite Atma. That is why it is called pranamaya kosha. Through this pranamaya kosha or vital air seed, we do all activities. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So I hope you have all enjoyed this class. In the beginning, it told itself that it will be little of details, but it will be interesting. I think, I hope a lot of things you could know through it. Hari Om to everyone else.
Hari Om.
Today, you must join in our Sanskrit class, because today is the 11th class, the last but one, and tomorrow is the last class of the 12 days crash course. So please try to join the class. We will meet again at 11 o'clock. Hari Om Tat Sat.